Maya Chen ignored the snickers that followed her down the curved hallway of Research Station Theta 9. After 6 months as the station's only human engineer, she'd grown accustomed to the sound. The Arxians, with their silvery skin and four-armed frames, found particular amusement in her primitive bipedal gait. Today's laughter came from a group of junior researchers who quickly found somewhere else to be when she turned to face them. Engineer Chen, a melodious voice called from behind her. The quantum drive is experiencing fluctuations again. Perhaps you could look at it. Assuming your species' understanding of physics is up to the task. Maya turned to face Chief Researcher Vaxtier, the station's lead scientist. The Arxians' upper set of arms were crossed in what Maya had learned was a gesture of superiority, while the lower pair held a data tablet displaying the drive's readings. Of course, Chief Researcher, Maya replied, keeping her voice neutral. Though I should point out that my primitive modifications last month improved drive efficiency by 12%. Vaxtier's iridescent eyes narrowed. A statistical anomaly. The Arxian Science Council maintains that humans lack the cognitive capacity for true quantum engineering. Your presence here is merely a gesture of diplomatic courtesy. Maya accepted the tablet, scanning the readings as she bit back a sharper retort. The Arxians' dismissal of human capabilities was as predictable as it was infuriating. Never mind that humanity had developed its own quantum drive barely a century after achieving spaceflight, a feat that had taken other species millennia. The drive readings were concerning, showing power spikes that shouldn't be possible with standard containment protocols. Maya's fingers flew across the tablet's surface, digging deeper into the data. As she analyzed the patterns, something caught her eye, a subtle resonance pattern buried in the quantum fluctuations. This is odd, she muttered, mostly to herself. These energy signatures, they're not random. What was that? Vaxtier demanded, all 4 hands now planted on his hips. Maya looked up, excitement momentarily overwhelming her usual caution. These patterns, they're not drive malfunctions. They're responses to an external quantum field. Something nearby is generating quantum resonance on a massive scale. Impossible, Vaxtier scoffed. Our surveys have mapped every significant energy source in this sector. Perhaps your instruments need recalibrating. But Maya was already pulling up the station's long-range sensor data, correlating it with the drive fluctuations. Her heart began to race as the analysis confirmed her suspicions. The energy source was coming from P-3742, an supposedly uninhabited planet in a nearby system. Look, she said, turning the tablet to show the chief researcher. The pattern matches perfectly with our orbit around P-3742. Something down there is affecting our drive. Vaxtier studied the data, his dismissive expression slowly shifting to one of concern. These readings, they shouldn't be possible. The energy output would have to be. He trailed off, his lower arms twitching nervously. Enormous, Maya finished. And highly advanced. She took a deep breath before continuing. Chief Researcher, I request permission to lead an expedition to investigate the source. The Arxian barked out a laugh. You. Led an expedition. Out of the question. I will inform the Science Council, and they will dispatch proper researchers to investigate. With respect, Maya pressed, I discovered these readings. I'm the one who recognized their significance. And given the quantum drive's reaction, I may be the only one qualified to safely approach the source. Qualified? Vaxtier's voice dripped with disdain. Need I remind you that your species only achieved spaceflight within the last few centuries? The Arxian Science Council has been studying quantum mechanics since before your kind mastered fire. Maya felt her patience snap. Then why didn't your advanced sensors detect these readings? Why did it take a primitive human to recognize their significance? Something down there is generating power on a scale we've never seen, and you want to wait weeks or months for the council to debate the proper approach. She could see the conflict playing across Vaxtier's features. His ingrained dismissal of human capabilities warred with the undeniable logic of her position. Finally, he spoke. You have 24 hours to prepare a preliminary survey mission. You will take 2 of my researchers with you, to ensure proper scientific protocols are followed, of course. But understand this, if this proves to be nothing but a waste of resources, your position here will be re-evaluated. Maya nodded, already mentally preparing for the expedition. Understood, Chief Researcher. I'll begin preparations immediately. As she strode toward her quarters to gather her equipment, Maya allowed herself a small smile. Whatever was waiting on P-3742, she had a feeling it was going to change everything, not just for her, but for humanity's place in the galaxy. She didn't know just how right she was. The survey shuttle cut through P-3742's turbulent atmosphere, buffeted by winds that seemed determined to deny them entry. Maya sat at the controls, her human reflexes, so often mocked by the Arxians, now proving invaluable as she navigated the treacherous descent. Behind her, researchers Kex and Zin gripped their seats with multiple arms, their silvery skin taking on a distinctly pale cast. Perhaps, Kex suggested through clenched teeth, we should abort the mission. These conditions exceed safety parameters. Maya's eyes remained fixed on her instruments, tracking the quantum resonance that grew stronger with each kilometer they descended. The signal is clearer now. We're getting close. The clouds suddenly parted, revealing a landscape that drew gasps from all 3 occupants. Below them stretched a vast plain of metallic hexagons, each easily a kilometer across. The geometric precision was unmistakably artificial, yet the scale suggested builders of incredible capability. Impossible, Zin whispered. This planet was surveyed centuries ago. There was nothing here. Maya brought the shuttle down near the epicenter of the quantum readings. As they emerged into the harsh alien air, their environmental suits automatically adjusting to the hostile conditions, she couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. The surface beneath their feet thrummed with barely contained power. Maya's handheld quantum scanner was nearly overloading from the intensity of the readings. She took a few careful steps forward, her boots clicking against the metallic surface. The energy signature is strongest there, she pointed to what appeared to be a seam line between 2 of the massive hexagonal plates. As they approached, the ground beneath them shuddered. Kex and Zin stepped back in alarm, but Maya moved closer. The seam began to glow with a soft blue light. Symbols appeared, floating in the air before her, and Maya's heart nearly stopped. They were human characters, English letters combined with mathematical formulae she recognized from theoretical quantum physics. This is impossible, Zin declared, echoing his earlier sentiment. Human civilization is barely 1,000 years old. These structures are orders of magnitude older. Maya reached out toward the floating symbols, her hand trembling slightly. As her fingers made contact, the light pulsed, and a voice spoke, not through their comms, but directly into their minds. Genetic profile confirmed. Human presence detected. Initiating awakening protocols. The ground split open with a sound like thunder, revealing a massive chamber beneath. As they watched in awe, a platform rose from the depths, carrying something that defied belief, a ship, but unlike any vessel Maya had ever seen. It was elegant and deadly, its hull seeming to shift and flow like liquid metal. By the council, Kex breathed. What is this? Before Maya could respond, her scanner chirped urgently. Multiple ships entering the atmosphere, she announced, checking the readings. Their energy signatures, their nexury. The Arxians' fear was palpable. The nexury were infamous raiders, known for their ruthless pursuit of advanced technology. They must have detected the energy surge when we activated whatever this is, Zin said, his voice shaking. Maya's mind raced. Their shuttle couldn't hope to outrun nexury ships, and the raiders weren't known for taking prisoners. As if responding to her thoughts, the ancient vessel's hull rippled, and an opening appeared in its side. The voice spoke again, threat detected. Guardian protocol activated. Awaiting pilot interface. Maya looked at the ship, then at her terrified companions, then at her scanner showing the rapidly approaching Nexari vessels. She made her decision. Get back to the shuttle, she ordered the Arxians. Take off as soon as you're aboard. I'll draw them away. You can't be serious, Kex protested. That vessel is clearly of advanced design. You couldn't possibly dash. That's an order, Maya snapped with an authority she didn't know she possessed. To her surprise, they obeyed, hurrying back toward their shuttle. Maya approached the ancient ship's opening. As she stepped inside, lights flickered to life, and she found herself in what was unmistakably a command center. A chair stood before a curved console, its design perfectly suited for human proportions. As she settled into the seat, interfaces sprang to life around her. Knowledge flooded her mind, not forced, but offered, like memories she didn't know she had. The ship was called the Star Weaver, and it was more than just a vessel. It was a key to humanity's forgotten past. Multiple hostile vessels approaching, the ship's AI announced. Weapons charged. Shall we show them what humanity is capable of? Maya's hands found the controls, which responded to her touch like extensions of her own body. A smile spread across her face as the Star Weaver rose into the air with impossible grace. Yes, she said. Let's give them a demonstration. The Nexari would soon learn that they weren't the only ones who could inspire fear among the stars. The Star Weaver moved with impossible grace, dancing between streams of Nexari weapons fire. Maya's hands flew across the controls, each movement feeling more natural than the last. The ship's neural interface fed tactical data directly into her mind, while its AI anticipated her intentions with uncanny precision. 3 Nexari warships on intercept course, the AI announced, its voice calm despite the chaos. Their weapons are primitive by Guardian standards, but still capable of causing damage in sufficient numbers. Maya watched as the raiders split formation, trying to box her in. On any other ship, it would have been a sound strategy. But the Star Weaver was something else entirely. Show me what you can do, Maya commanded. The ship's response was immediate. The hull rippled, quantum fields warping space itself around them. To the Nexari's sensors, the Star Weaver seemed to be everywhere and nowhere at once. Maya struck while they were confused, the ship's weapons releasing precise bursts of energy that disabled the raiders' engines without destroying their vessels. A merciful approach, the AI observed. Most interesting. Maya watched the disabled ships drift. We're not here to kill. Just to send a message. She opened a channel to all frequencies. Nexari vessels, this is your only warning. Retreat once your systems restore, or the next demonstration won't be so gentle. The response was immediate, the raiders' emergency thrusters fired, turning their ships away from the planet. As they limped away, Maya allowed herself to breathe. But her relief was short-lived. Multiple quantum signatures detected, the AI announced. It appears our little display has attracted attention. Maya checked the tactical display and felt her heart skip. A fleet of Arxian science vessels was dropping out of quantum space, led by what could only be a Council flagship. And behind them, more ships were arriving, Centaurian, Vega Collective, even a few human vessels. Her calm crackled to life. Unidentified vessel, a familiar voice spoke. Chief Researcher Vaxtier. You have activated a restricted quantum anomaly and engaged in unauthorized combat. Power down and prepare for boarding. Maya almost laughed at the irony. Hours ago, this same voice had dismissed her as a primitive. Now it quivered with barely concealed fear and awe. Chief Researcher, she responded, letting a hint of amusement color her tone. I'm afraid I can't do that. But I'm happy to discuss what I've discovered here. After all, isn't that what the Science Council is all about? Discovery? The AI's voice whispered in her mind. More ships approaching. Multiple species, multiple agendas. They will attempt to seize this vessel by force. Maya nodded. She had expected this. The discovery of advanced human technology would upset the galaxy's carefully maintained power balance. Every faction would want to claim it, or destroy it. We need allies, she muttered, studying the tactical display. Her eyes fell on the human ships hanging back from the main fleet. An idea formed. Open a secure channel to the human vessels, she commanded. The AI complied, and Maya found herself facing Captain Sarah Rodriguez of the Earth Explorer Corps. This is Maya Chen. I've discovered something that changes everything we thought we knew about human history. And I need your help to protect it. Rodriguez's eyes widened as Maya transmitted a small portion of the Starweaver's historical database. This is impossible. The Council told us we were newcomers to the galaxy. That we needed their guidance to advance. They lied, Maya stated flatly. Humanity once stood among the stars as equals, maybe even superiors. This ship is proof. And there's more out there, waiting to be found. A new voice cut in, the Arxian Council representative, his tone dripping with diplomatic poison. Ms. Chen, whatever you think you found, it clearly exceeds your capability to understand. Turn over the vessel, and the Council will ensure it's properly studied. Maya's response was to activate one of the Starweaver's secondary systems. A quantum pulse rippled out, temporarily disrupting the Council ship's sensors. In that moment of confusion, she executed a perfect maneuver, bringing her ship alongside the human vessels. Captain Rodriguez, Maya said, I'm transmitting coordinates to a location the Starweaver's database calls the Forge. It's another human facility, bigger than this one. We can reach it before they restore their sensors, but I need your ships to run interference. Rodriguez was silent for a long moment. When she spoke, her voice was firm. The Explorer Corps exists to uncover humanity's potential among the stars. I'd say this qualifies. We're with you. As the human ships moved to protect the Starweaver's escape vector, Maya felt a surge of pride. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity's time as a junior species was over. The AI's voice held a note of approval. Course plotted to the Forge. Shall we show them what else humanity has forgotten? Maya's hands tightened on the controls. Yes. It's time for some real discoveries. The Starweaver leaped into quantum space, leaving behind a galaxy in turmoil. The journey to reclaim humanity's legacy had truly begun. The Forge lived up to its name. As the Starweaver emerged from quantum space, Maya gasped at the sight before them. A massive ring structure orbited a dying star, drawing power directly from its solar flares. Captain Rodriguez's small fleet of human ships followed close behind, their crews equally stunned by the discovery. Energy output exceeds known civilization standards by several orders of magnitude, the Starweaver's AI reported. The Forge remains operational, though in a reduced capacity. Before Maya could respond, warning signals flared across her neural interface. Multiple quantum signatures detected. The Council fleet has followed our trajectory. How? Maya demanded. We covered our quantum wake. It appears they had help, the AI replied, highlighting a new contact. A massive vessel was approaching, unlike anything in the Starweaver's database. Its hull seemed to absorb light itself, making it appear as a ship-shaped void in space. The comm system crackled. A voice spoke, ancient, powerful, and filled with contempt. Did you think we wouldn't notice when you activated the Guardian protocols, little human? Maya felt a chill run down her spine. Identify yourself. We are the precursors, the voice replied. The true inheritors of this galaxy. We who guided the younger races, who kept them, properly contained. Understanding dawned. You're the ones who erased our history, Maya accused. You buried the truth about humanity's past. For good reason, the voice answered. Humanity was dangerous. Unpredictable. You advanced too quickly, developed technologies that should have taken millennia to discover. You had to be reset. Captain Rodriguez's voice cut in, sharp with anger. Reset? You destroyed our civilization. Bombed us back to the Stone Age. And now you will witness it again. The forge must not be reactivated. Humanity must not rise again. The precursor ship moved with impossible speed, its weapons systems charging. But Maya was already in motion, the Starweaver responding to her thoughts faster than conscious commands. All human ships, execute pattern Delta, she ordered, remembering combat maneuvers she'd never learned but somehow knew. The Explorer Corps vessels moved in perfect synchronization, as if their crews instinctively understood ancient battle strategies coded into their DNA. The Starweaver's AI spoke urgently. Maya, the Forge's defense systems are still active. If we can reach the central control hub. Already on it, she replied, diving the ship toward the massive ring structure. Behind them, the human fleet engaged the Arxian and precursor vessels in a desperate holding action. As they approached the forge, its surface came alive. Massive doors opened, revealing docking bays and defense platforms. The Starweaver threaded through them, guided by protocols older than recorded history. They landed in a vast chamber, and Maya felt the neural interface urging her to disembark. The rest of you, hold them off, she commanded the fleet. I need to reach the control center. Running through ancient corridors, Maya followed the AI's guidance. The forge was awakening around her, systems dormant for millennia springing to life at her presence. She reached a massive door marked with familiar symbols, English letters combined with mathematical formulae that seemed to dance before her eyes. As she approached, the door recognized her human DNA and opened. Inside was a sight that took her breath away, a vast chamber filled with holographic displays showing the galaxy itself. And in the center, a figure of light took shape. Welcome, child of Earth, it said, its voice different from the Starweaver's AI, older, deeper, filled with both power and sadness. I am the Guardian Protocol, the last defense of humanity's legacy. And you have not come a moment too soon. The figure gestured, and the holograms shifted to show scenes from Earth's forgotten past. Maya saw mighty cities that sailed through space, human achievements that dwarfed anything the Council races had accomplished. We were not always primitive, the Guardian explained. Humanity rose to heights that frightened the elder races. The precursors claimed to guide young civilizations, but in truth, they constrained them, ensuring none would challenge their dominion. But we did, Maya guessed. You did. And when they couldn't control humanity, they destroyed it. Wiped away your civilization and your memory of it. Only a few hidden outposts remained, waiting for the right moment, the right human, to awaken them. Outside, explosions lit up space as the battle raged. The precursor ship was tearing through the human fleet's defenses, heading straight for the forge. They're coming to destroy us again, Maya said. To keep humanity downtrodden. The Guardian's light pulsed. Yes. But this time, we are ready. The forge still holds the power to restore what was lost. If you are willing to accept the responsibility. Maya felt the weight of history on her shoulders. What do I need to do? Link with the forge's systems. Awaken its full power. But know this, there will be no going back. The galaxy's balance of power will shift forever. Through the neural interface, Maya could feel the Starweaver's AI lending its support. Outside, more human ships were arriving, drawn by some instinct they didn't understand to defend their heritage. Maya took a deep breath and stepped forward. Show me. The chamber filled with light as ancient machines hummed to life. The time had come for humanity to remember what it had forgotten. The forge thrummed with power as Maya merged with its systems, ancient knowledge flooding her consciousness. Through the facility's sensors, she perceived the battle raging outside in ways her human senses never could. The precursor vessel was cutting through space itself, its weapons unlike anything the younger races had ever seen. "Your defiance changes nothing," the precursor voice boomed across all frequencies. "We have erased humanity once. We can do it again." But Maya wasn't listening. Through her connection to the forge, she was seeing the truth, all of it. Humanity hadn't just been advanced, they had been revolutionaries. While other races plodded along prescribed technological paths, humans had innovated, questioned, created. They had dared to imagine different ways of manipulating space, time, and energy. "That's why you feared us," Maya broadcasted back. "Not because we were dangerous, but because we were free. We showed others they didn't need your guidance." The Guardian Protocol's presence supported her, showing her how to access the Forge's deeper systems. "The precursors built their power on control," it explained. Humanity represented chaos, creative, brilliant, uncontrollable chaos. Maya watched as Captain Rodriguez's fleet fought with desperate courage against overwhelming odds. The human ships were outnumbered and outgunned, but they refused to yield. Even now, with their civilization reduced and their heritage stolen, humans still showed the same spirit that had once shaken the galaxy. "It's time," the Guardian said. "The Forge retains enough power for one final protocol. You can restore what was lost, not just technology, but knowledge. Every human ship, every colony, every mind will remember." Maya's hands moved across controls that responded to thought itself. "What about the precursors? They are powerful, but they are few. They relied on keeping the younger races divided and dependent. United humanity once stood against them. They can do so again." Through the Forge's systems, Maya could feel the quantum web connecting all human settlements, ships, and stations across the galaxy. One command would reawaken what the precursors had buried in humanity's collective consciousness. The massive precursor ship was closing in, its weapons capable of destroying the Forge entirely. But they had forgotten something crucial about humanity: when backed into a corner, humans didn't submit. They innovated. Maya reached out through the neural interface, connecting the Starweaver's systems to the Forge. "All human vessels," she broadcast, "link your quantum drives to my signal. The Starweaver will show you how." The response was immediate. Across the battlefield, human ships began resonating in harmony, their quantum drives synchronizing in ways their current science said was impossible. But their ancestors had known better. "You cannot hope to match our power," the precursor ship declared, charging its main weapon. Maya smiled. "We don't have to match it. We just have to think differently." She activated the Forge's primary protocol. Energy cascaded through the ancient facility, channeling through the linked human ships. Each vessel became a node in a vast quantum network, just as their ancestors had once designed. The effect rippled across human space faster than light itself. On every human world, colony, and ship, people stopped as buried memories surfaced. Knowledge, culture, and technology their ancestors had wielded flooded back into humanity's collective consciousness. The precursor ship fired, its weapon bright enough to rival the dying star. But the linked human ships responded as one, their combined quantum fields bending space in ways the precursors had never imagined possible. The devastating beam curved away harmlessly, trapped in a recursive quantum loop of humanity's design. "Impossible," the precursor voice wavered. "You cannot have mastered such techniques so quickly." "We didn't," Maya replied. "We remembered them." The Forge's power reached its peak. From quantum space, more ships emerged, automated vessels that had hidden in dimensional pockets for millennia, waiting for this moment. The human fleet was no longer outnumbered. "You forgot something important about humanity," Maya declared, feeling the support of every awakened human mind across the galaxy. "We learn. We adapt. And we never, ever accept limitations." The battle that followed would be remembered for generations. The precursor ship, for all its power, found itself facing techniques and technologies its builders had thought lost to time. The combined human fleet moved with organic precision, using strategies that had once driven the precursors from human space. When it was over, the massive void ship retreated, its hull breached in multiple places by weapons it had no defense against. The Arxian fleet, witnessing the true power of humanity unleashed, withdrew without a word. Maya stood in the forge's control chamber, watching through its displays as human ships and settlements across the galaxy hummed with renewed purpose. The Guardian Protocol's light pulsed with approval. The age of hiding is over, it declared. Humanity has remembered itself. What will you do with this restored legacy? Maya thought of the racism she'd faced, the dismissal of human potential. But she also thought of Kex and Zin, who had followed her despite their fears. Of how humans and aliens could work together, if given the chance. We'll do what humanity has always done, she answered. We'll explore. We'll innovate. We'll help others break free of arbitrary limitations. And this time, we'll make sure our legacy isn't forgotten. The stars seemed brighter somehow, as if responding to humanity's reawakening. Maya Chen, once mocked as a primitive engineer, now stood as a bridge between humanity's restored past and its unlimited future. This time, humanity would not just reach for the stars. They would help lift others up to reach them too. After all, that had always been humanity's true legacy, not just the power to achieve great things, but the desire to share that achievement with others. The galaxy would never be the same. And that was exactly as it should be.